With Paige debuting for AEW and more, this is Wrestling Up. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. When talking the Ring of Wrestling show about wrestling critics and the rankings, FTR's Cash Wheeler said, no one's going to convince me otherwise that we're not the best tag team on the planet. So anything that doesn't have us at the top of the list, I'm going to discredit it. Really, I think it's nice to get accolades. It's nice to hear people enjoy what you do and they appreciate what you do. But at the end of the day, I don't ever go into my match thinking about how I'm going to get that approval. I don't think about how it's going to be received by critics. I think about what I care about and what makes me feel something, and what I, perceive to be making realism in wrestling as believable as possible. And that's kind of what I follow. So yeah, it's cool, especially now getting into discussions about where we rank on the all-time list and stuff like that. It's something to be proud of. But at the end of the day, you're never going to convince me we're not the absolute best. Dax Harwood added, if we were worried about rankings, we would be tag team champions right now. We've been number one in AEW since April. For the love of God, Tony, give us a shot. The thing is with that and the rankings and stuff and people saying we're the greatest of all time or the greatest right now or we're the worst of all time, and all that is subjective and that's cool. But the win for me is whenever Bret Hart texts me or Randy Orton texts me or Edge or Arn Anderson or any of these guys text me that I look up to and say, that was a classic. Speaking of sports, Gita about WWE, Alberto Del Rio said this about Vince McMahon retiring as chairman and CEO of the company. They're going to be just fine. They have Triple H and Stephanie McMahon running the business. They know everything they need to know about the pro wrestling business, and they also have new and fresh ideas. They have all the secrets. They were next to the godfather of wrestling, Mr. Vince McMahon. So they have learned absolutely everything they need to learn. Plus, they have their own ideas. They have a lot of talent. They have a lot of money. So they're going to continue doing great things. Everybody has seen it. The ratings are going up. People are happy with the product. So, as we always say, changes are always good. Of course, we're gonna miss Mr. Vince McMahon, and nobody will ever be like Vince McMahon. But since they cannot do things the way he used to do it, they're gonna do it in a different way. And he's gonna be as successful as he was. Different, but the formula is there and they're gonna continue making millions of pro wrestling fans happy around the world. Well, to be honest, I'm not there, so I don't have room to compare one administration with the other one, because I was only there when Vince McMahon was the one in charge. I'm pretty sure it's fantastic. I read the comments about the fans and about the talent, of how they're being so happy, and they think things are getting better. I think it's a little bit unfair for Mr. McMahon, because now that he's gone, there are some people saying that everything is better now. I think it's unfair. They shouldn't be saying that it's better. They just should be saying that it is different because that's the way it is. It's not better or worse. It's not worse or better. It's just different. It's two different people doing different things. All they need to know, I think, is that without Vince McMahon, without Mr. Vince McMahon, the business would not be what it is these days. If it wasn't for him, the business would not be as successful and popular and beautiful. Talking to TV Insider, interim AEW Women's Champion Toni Storm spoke about the state of the division, saying, "It's a story as old as time. Women's wrestling struggles to get the same amount of time as the guys. We are put in a different position, but I really do believe we are headed in the right direction. We've got a locker room full of really hard-working and talented women that I believe are the future. It's going to change the entire game. I think we're going to overcome and get more time and see more emphasis on ourselves, but we're doing the hard work. I'm very confident in this entire division. I'm proud to be at the top and will do whatever I can to push it where it needs to go. I'm proud of everyone back there. I'm choosing to be positive. I think little by little there will be more emphasis on us in AEW. We just need to keep breaking down that door. I also think consistency is what will get us there." Talking about whether he would take a job on the creative team for WWE, Sean Waltman said during the KNS WrestleFest, "If they asked me, hey man, we could really use your help with this. I wouldn't say no, but I just don't see where I'm this creative genius that's going to go in there and, bring some revolution. That was me personally. I was that way years ago, but that was years ago, man. Like, we need young people. We need young, fresh minds that know what's hip. Like, I learn from young people. I like to think I'm self-aware enough to know I'm not ready for that. I can help with things. But here's the thing, man. I have a really nice balance in my life right now. And I have a nice relationship with WWE and everyone for that matter, as far as I'm concerned. And I don't want to mess that up. Talking about possibly working for WWE given the new management. ODB, known for her time in Impact Wrestling, told Just Alex, "The door is always open. I just never knocked on it. When I was working at TNA, my last contract ended in 2014. I stepped away, and that's when I didn't want to wrestle. I just needed to take a break. And that's when I started the barbecue business and traveled in my Airstream up and down the road. It was great. I mean, they've been in contact with me, but it never went any further than that. You never know. It would be pretty badass to drive the ODB truck right into the freaking arena." When asked about facing one star in WWE today, she said one person would be Charlotte Flair. "I would like to step up my game and have that match, because she has it all. She's an amazing athlete, she can talk on the microphone, you believe her, you love her, you hate her, etc. And I'm glad she's taking a break right now to recharge herself, but she's always been a star and I think we could have some good matches. She's always been a technical wrestler, and I would be more of a brawler. I don't think she's had that yet." Talking about his history of concussions in the pro wrestling business, Kurt Angle said on his podcast, "I would say I probably had 4 concussions that I know of major. One was a slight concussion that wasn't too bad. The other 3 were pretty bad. But even to this day I'm starting to not remember things, and I'm only in my early 50s. But I've gotten a little damage to my brain. There's no doubt about it. My memory is not that great anymore. I really have to think hard about remembering the past." Recalling his concussion from SummerSlam 2000, he said, "They kept that quiet until after I wrestled Triple H. I believe they told me 2 weeks prior to No Mercy, which would have been 2 weeks after the match I had with Triple H, but I was surprised. I mean, literally, I wasn't winning any matches in 5 months and all of a sudden they're going to give me the title. What Vince McMahon told me was, it wasn't just about me elevating myself through the company that year. It was the fact that I came back with a concussion and wrestled at SummerSlam against Triple H and The Rock. Vince really gave me a lot of respect for that. He wanted to repay me for coming back and finishing that match when I shouldn't have finished it. So he was telling me, listen, I have a real player now. I know I can depend on this guy because he literally got a concussion and he still wrestled with it. So I'm going to put the title on this kid because I believe in him." Randy Orton's iconic tattoos are center stage of a lawsuit against WWE and company, with the artist of those tats looking for compensation. In an update on this, PW Insider has said WWE star Randy Orton is scheduled as a witness in the trial for the lawsuit. His tattoo artist Catherine Alexander has brought against World Wrestling Entertainment, Take-Two Interactive Software, 2K Games Inc., 2K Sports Inc., Visual Concepts Entertainment, Ukes Co., and Ukes LA, before the U.S. District Court, Southern District of Illinois. Alexander claims to have done the work between 03 and 08, saying she applied for a copyright in March of 2018. Talking about Tony Khan taking a jab at WWE's deal with Saudi Arabia, Booker T said on his Hall of Fame podcast, "Worry about your company. Worry about the turmoil that's going on inside of AEW right now, and try to fix that before you start thinking about what WWE is doing, and instead of running his mouth about WWE. I have a lot of respect for Tony Khan. Sometimes you earn respect as well. You don't earn it by going out there talking. You earn it by going out there and doing it. I think I would have a whole lot more respect for Tony Khan if he handled his business, and we all know what that is. We saw the press conference. Yeah, as I said, I don't get it. There's a lot of upside about AEW. Just like Chris Jericho was talking at that press conference, some things are better kept to ourselves, instead of blowing up WWE, especially without WWE is rolling right now." Talking about the reported meeting that took place prior to Dynamite, Sean Ross Sapp noted that we're still working to gain details about who spoke at the meeting, but those we heard from in attendance said that it was very positive and effectively served as a pep talk for the roster ahead of a major show. The talent meetings held since All Out have seemed to resonate well with roster and staff that we've spoken to. A longtime AEW talent that we spoke with said the last 3 weeks have been much more laid back than how things were in the weeks that led up to the AEW All Out. Another veteran claimed that the locker room has been the best over the last 3 tapings than it's been in quite a while. An AEW source we spoke to used the term addition by subtraction, but wouldn't specify who they meant specifically in that regard. With over 12,000 tickets sold for their Grand Slam event according to WrestleTix, leaving 3,000 available, a fan took a shot at the venue for AEW's most recent show.
Alright, for all you AEW fanboys out there saying we're at a sold out show, this is what sold out looks like. Alright? This is New York City. And you can't even fill a freaking tennis court stadium, man. WWE sells out Madison Square Garden and these people can't even sell out this little stadium. Look at that, an entire empty section. Holy cow. 5 minutes before start time, this is embarrassing. With fans hoping to see Paige back in action after leaving WWE, it's been said that Fightful Select learned this week via AEW sources that there had at least been conversations with Saraya this summer. We weren't given additional context of that, beyond one person stating that they believe WWE would also be interested in bringing her back considering the new regime. We were told that the conversations didn't result in anything at the time, but anything could have changed since then. And of course, those talks led to Saraya making her debut for AEW on Grand Slam as she reunited with Toni Storm and Athena. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.